plus a campaign against the trend for skin lightening in India, and the Angolan singer and independence campaigner Bonga Kwenda.
Even though I was banned, I still went and sang. I went to Mozambique, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, and even to the front line to sing.
That's after a summary of today's world news.
BBC News with Danielle Yałowiecka. The World Meteorological Organization says concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are accumulating faster than at any time in human existence. The study says carbon dioxide levels surged to a new high last year. Discussions are taking place in Doha between delegates from Israel, the US and Qatar, aimed at restarting negotiations for a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release. There are hopes that Israel's killing of the Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar could create a new opportunity for progress. The Kamala Harris campaign has condemned the use of racist language at Donald Trump's latest election rally. One of the warm-up speakers in New York described the US territory of Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. A nationwide polio vaccination campaign is underway in Pakistan after a surge in the number of cases this year. Officials aim to vaccinate more than 45 million children in a week. The former president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, has angrily defended his record at a public inquiry into his deadly war on drugs. He told the Senate committee he took full legal responsibility. The United Nations says more than 46,000 people have been displaced in Sudan by an escalation of violence against civilians in Al Jazeera state. The UN says residents from at least 30 villages have fled to neighbouring states to escape an offensive by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. Indonesia says it won't allow the latest generation of Apple iPhones to be sold in the country. The industry ministry said all variants of the iPhone 16 would be banned because Apple has failed a requirement to source 40% of the components from local manufacturers. The prominent Kenyan human rights activist Boniface Mwangi has been freed without charges after a night in police custody. He was arrested at his home by masked security agents on suspicion of incitement to violence. BBC News.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06 386. and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it is Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick couple of breaks, and then we listen, and then we come to you. Please hold on. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana, boy. Oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life. Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better. You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth and those of you on other planets as well. I want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Monday edition of the Morning Show on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is Monday, the 28th day of October 2024, the day after the clocks went forward. All right, backwards. So now we are par with Ghana as well. So GMT now at 10 o'clock, about 10:52. 8 minutes to the top of the hour. But this is the Starr Radio UK Monday edition of the morning show, and as you heard, I am the one and only Archie, and let me say good morning to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who will be bringing us all the updates from Nigeria, and he'll be telling us more about any of the development that took place over the weekend pertaining to the Yoruba nation, whether there was any event that took place there. And let me say good morning also to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, who will be moving around doing a few things here and there. But Francis, good morning to you. And my special good morning goes to Atta Kofi. It's a great greetings, my boss. Thanks be to God for a new day. Yes, a new day, a new week. Why not? We are still alive. We have information coming through. This one is died, this one is died. I tend to hear that. And you ask yourself the question, why haven't I gone? You need to understand that God has still got some business to do with you, right? Okay. Or you've not fulfilled all your destiny, so you have still got some work to do, right? Okay, so we've got work to do, and that's what we're going to be doing. Let me say good morning to HR Linda Pallien, who will be joining us during the latter part of the program. To Anthony Adedeji Aziz, good morning to you. Bishop Adeshina, good morning. Pastor Momo, good morning. Shamsuddin, good morning. Tosino, good morning to you. Kojodi, yes, good morning to you. Lovely seeing you over the weekend as well. And then a special good morning also goes to Felix all the way in Aberdeen, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, and as many of you who are tuning in this morning to listen to us, massive good morning to you. Welcome to the Starr Radio UK Monday edition of the morning show. Okay, as you know, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, and that is known as Global Trotting. And after which we'll be bringing you Mr. Olayomi Koiki at 11 o'clock, where it's going to be telling you more about what is happening from Nigeria. But now let's kick off. Then after which we'll be bringing details of the stories, and then at a quarter to 12, the lines are open. At 12 o'clock, we cross over to Cyprus, where HR Linda Pallien is this morning to bring you Career 101. Then after which, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So next year, that's what's going to go on. So stay tuned. Don't you go away at 10:54. The quote for the day says, take care of what's within your control by giving your children a strong foundation and instilling in them a clear sense of right and wrong. Oh, that was that of Friday, right? So for today's, yes, those who listen to the program of Friday will say, you said that last Friday. The best gift you can give another is prayer. So whatever it is, pray for people. Wish them well. Okay, you get it. So as you're wishing me well and hoping that everything pans out well, God also sees to that your things also pans out well there as well. Starr Radio UK. Now when it comes to the weather front as well, what has the weather got in stock for you this morning? For those of you in London and southeastern part of England, this afternoon will be mainly dry with sunny spells and variable cloud. It will begin to cloud over from the west towards the end of the day with a few light patches of rain moving in. It's going to be mild as well. This evening will start with cloudy skies and spells of light rain moving in overnight. The skies will stay cloudy with rain persisting until dawn. It's going to be mild. Total temperature is going to be 17 degrees. The rest is going to be 12 degrees. Sunset 16:40. Sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:48 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Now taking you straight to the travels as well. And the London Overground has got part suspension and part closures. Let me bring you the details of that. Okay. Yes. Quite a lot there. Part suspension, part closure, and severe delays. So check it out before you embark on your journey. Waterloo and City Line, that's on the underground, has also got no service while they face a signal failure at Waterloo. That aside, all the underground lines are running a good service. DLR and London Tramlink, good service there as well. Taking you straight to the major roads in London. Well, I can tell you this morning there are no exceptional delays on the A roads. When it comes to the river bus, good service there as well. The London Cable Car, good service there, bringing us straight to the final segment of the travel update, and that is the National Rail. And as I would say all the time, keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, as keep it navigated. Avanti West Coast, cross country, Island Line, Northern Rail and Southwestern Railway are experiencing providing special services, but Mersey Rail is experiencing minor delays. So please check before you leave. And let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? Family on the roads. Okay, we're going to be taking you straight to the global trotting. Because we've got about another 3 minutes to have Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. And what have I got for you? From Nigeria, I will make you disappear, says Abia Rep Alex Ikweche, who assaulted a driver. A member of the House of Representatives, Alex Ikweche, on Sunday assaulted an e-hailing Bolt driver who went to deliver a package to him. And they say he's so powerful, so I don't know how it was going to make the person disappear, but it was going to make the person disappear, whether through juju or whether he's going to let some security people to come for him. We're not very sure. The Nigerian Labour Congress has criticized the International Monetary Fund for its denial of responsibility regarding the Nigerian government recent removal of subsidy on petrol. Well, we all remember that they were advocating that the government takes that subsidy out so that it will help the economy. Now they are saying they didn't say that. This was an Economic and Financial Crimes Commission assured of its committed to diligently monitoring and tracking expenditure of the 774 LG chairman from the revenue disbursement allocated from the federal government. We'll be bringing you more on all that, so don't you go away. When it comes to other stories making the round, Trump unveils the most extreme closing argument in modern presidential history. Well, it's quite an interesting one. I was monitoring it live on CNN and BBC, and it was quite an interesting bit there. But what do you think about the campaign that is going on in the US, and who do you think has got pole position? Kesama to warn of harsh physical reality ahead of budget. But the question is, how is the financial market going to react to that? Because Liz Truss's budget, it was the same thing, the shocks, and then that determines whether the economy or is going to affect our finances. I mean, the whole, whether everything is going to go down again. But they're saying that we promise you it's not going to be an austerity measure. But what do you think? But the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, Hunt, has claimed that budget watchdog will break impartiality. Impartiality claims. Claims Hunt. We'll be telling you more on that. Smugglers reveal forgery operation used to bring Vietnamese migrants to UK. Interesting. It's all coming out from there. In other stories making the rounds as well, from the African front, financial audit forces Senegal to reassess IMF program strategy. We have, I remember we have PAMSCAD, we have back in Ghana, back in the day, whatever. I've forgotten the other one, restructuring 1 and 2. It was a lot of them, but hey. Now, Egypt-Ukraine foreign ministers meet in Cairo, and RSF militia accused of massacre in Sudan's Gizera state. We'll tell you more about all that as the program goes on. I foresee parliament with a majority from one party, president from another party. Jantua is saying. Is that true? A sure correct dosage of liquid-based fertilizer, farmers are saying. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Chief Imam urges MPs to show goodwill in resolving parliamentary impasse. Now, do you think that is in any way, shape, or form going to act or do anything about it? Well, Sanon Asogli has acted in bad faith over shutdown due to ECG debt. They've not acted in bad faith. They are there to do business. Now, if they give you a credit limit and you go beyond it and there are no assurances that you're going to be doing it, well, they decided to shut the whole thing down. They say, pay up or we're not going to give you electricity. How has the government actually gone on this part to make sure that we have stable electricity or power supply in the country? I remember back in the day when they were coming in, there was Dumso, and then they were talking Dum and all that bit, and then they said, oh, the government said they're going to sort it out, and they managed to, and it's now like God knows dived, and you ask yourself the question, what exactly is going on? Well, Sanon Asogli shutdown is an act of bad faith. The Minister of Finance is saying, what act of bad faith? You want to know more? I'm going to tell you more about that as well. Supreme Court Judicial Galamsey, another symptom of bad governance. So what is the Supreme Court saying? Is it because they are having nice water? They can afford to go and buy. They can afford to go and buy what they call it, wholesome water wherever, or import it into the country and drink it. Therefore, that is okay with them. But this and a lot more we're going to be bringing your way this morning. But for now, let me tell you that I've got the White Lion himself on air now, and let's go straight to him and let me see whether he can hear me. And let me say good morning to you, Yummy.
Good morning to you. I hope you can hear me back in the studio.
Loud and clear, loud and clear. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, apart from a bit of drizzling from the northwest of London, very close to the A40, where I am currently pulled over so that we can have our morning discussion. A little bit not too far from Wisdom. I could see the buses, and as usual, it's drizzling. I'm sure you've given the update on the weather already. We're currently in winter. That means that as much as I might be dressing warm, I'm in the vehicle, but we are stationed. But I also have my jacket, and as always advised, make sure you have a bottle of water, because when you travel on the motorway, you never know what could happen. So you're always advised to do so. But it's a good weekend, and I hope you had a great weekend as well, and it's great to be back on the morning show this morning, and I'm going to come straight back to you in the studio at exactly 3 minutes past 11 this morning.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki on the A40 somewhere, parked, and just making sure it's parked. Not that he's driving and talking so that people say, no, we lead by example, and that's exactly what he is doing this morning. So were there any activities planned for the Yoruba Nation over the weekend? Was there anything of the sort? Were there any activities there?
Well, we can say that we have the last event, which was in Germany on Thursday, in still celebration of Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, which was held on Thursday, and everybody has returned back to their base. And the next line of action is a communique that will be coming from the leader of the movement, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, that will be giving us more updates, especially with the upcoming meetings of the Orbas in the Yoruba land, that many people are worried and concerned that there is another agenda to keep the Yoruba people back in Nigeria, and that is the reason why the meeting has been called. But apart from that, it is just the awareness that continue. While there's a lot of other issues going on in Nigeria, we'll be talking about that this morning, because we know that so much news goes on in Nigeria, and that's the reason why we're here to give those news and the development in what we call the global trotting from Africa, Europe, and across the continent.
Good. Just one before we come to the substantive issues that we are looking at this morning. How has the awareness creation, roped in more people? Do you see, if you look at your data with the Yoruba, we know that it's not everybody who understands the quest or what is going on. But with the Chief's birthday statement that Professor had made, and the effort that you have put in on the Koiki media and the Yoruba nation worldwide, all the activities that have, do you think it has roped in more people who have now become conscious of what is going on?
Well, you're quite right. If we go back to after the 12th of October, it seems that the awareness shot back into a big limelight, especially when you have the federal government attacking again the British consulate and the British High Commissioner in Abuja, Dr. Richard Montegori, just to give a clarity of what took place in London on the 12th of the month of October, after Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, on behalf of the Yorubas and on behalf of the leader, to submit these letter that has gained a lot of publicity, as much as there might be some negativity from those that disagree with the movement. But what that's done is that it has raised the question bar on what needs to have been done before that letter. And like I always say, a letter was submitted on the 17th of April to the President Bola Tinubu and his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari, but they refused to do anything on that letter. But this particular one that nobody knows the content apart from Professor Adebanji Akintoye continue to put pressure on the federal government to really want to know what the next move of the self-determination of the Yoruba people. And also, in the line of that, we are coming towards the end of October, and happy birthday to my sister yesterday, celebrating her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
December 2nd is when the Biafra are also saying, according to the PM government in exile, Simon Ekpa, that they will be making what we call declaration. What declaration means to different people is different, but what declaration means to those that are campaigning is that when that is declared, they are holding that territory, and that means that the Nigeria, as one of the biggest in Africa, is going through a lot of test of time. How these will be managed within the next 2 months is what we will be monitoring from home and from outside the country as well.
Well, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is the Monday edition of the Morning Show. Updates from Nigeria on the Morning Show with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. I'm here in the studios, and he is somewhere in London on the M40, but we're going to be bringing you more on all that. So wherever you are, don't you touch the dial at all. This is Starr Radio UK, and now let's move on. Now, back in the day when we had a military regime, when there wasn't rule of law, it was autocracy and authoritarianism, then we can have somebody coming out to say, you know what, hey, I'm going to let you vanish. And that is, because there is no rule of law. You have power, you have the military, you have a gun, you do whatever you want. But we're talking about, they talk about the rule of law, they talk about democracy, and they talk about all that. So for a House of Representatives or a rep coming out to say to a delivery driver, I'm going to make you disappear, then maybe he has got some juju that is going to use to make the person maybe disappear from his the front of his house. But what took place, Yomi?
Well, you're never surprised with what is happening in Nigeria, and you are quite right. It was a dark era, especially during the military days in Nigeria, where many innocent Nigerians got missing because they disagree, with the government of the day. Especially, when Abacha was in power, there was a lot of death. The late MK Abiola died during that period. The wife, Kudirat, also died, and many other. And not just that, even during the days of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, we had the death of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Bola Ige, died. We had Funshaw Williams died. We had Dele Giwa that was sent a letter bomb as at the time that the Babangida was in power. So it's not new that we've had and we've seen many disappearance of innocent Nigerians. We are not talking about journalists now. You know, if you talk about journalists, I can take you back to Daddy Yati. Daddy Yati has been missing from Kaduna for the last 3 years. But let's take a listen to what transpired, and I'll give you a better understanding. This is a voice of a House of Rep and a boat driver that delivered whatever was delivered, but these are the discussion that took place.
Know where you are? Do you know who I am? So you think I will give you my money with the way you have spoken to me? I did a job for you and you have to pay it. You will not see any. You will not see penny from me. With this level of disrespect, you're very stupid. Very, very stupid. Madam, who is this stupid boy that you sent to this my house? Who is this foolish boy that you sent to my house? How can this stupid idiot come to my house and tell me that I'm supposed to come and meet him in his car and pick up stuff that I'm buying from you? Can you imagine this rat? I can make this man to disappear in the whole Nigeria, nothing will happen. Can you imagine this rat? I'm not going to give this boy 1 naira of my money. No.
All right. Let's now, give you a bit of his picture. Information has come out, and we've found out a little bit about him because he's a current member. And I want us to take it back to what is happening in Cheshire, where a member of parliament was punching a member of the public, and he has already been suspended. But as I speak to you this morning, these individuals have not been suspended. The police has not done anything yet, and these are the kind of power monger. This is the face of his name is a federal House of Rep member, Alex Ikwega, that assaulted the delivery driver, and not just only assaulted. He says he can lock him up in his garage, in his generator garage. It can even make him disappear. And the word disappear means that it can kill him, and nobody will do nothing, because it's not the first time. And this is the face of what we can call another power drunk representative in Nigeria this morning. Like I said, the reaction has been going on, and this is what woke many Nigerians again this morning with many other issues. And I can tell you quickly that there's been reaction from not just one person, but thousands of millions of Nigerians. But I would like to take one for those that believe in the self-determination. And this is what Simon Ekpa is saying, because remember that this particular House of Rep is from the southeast part of the country. And this is the reaction from Simon Ekpa, even though we know that there's a Monday lockdown on the whole of the southeast this morning. But according to Simon Ekpa, put out on his timeline just about a few hours ago, this is one of the dishonorable, I don't want to use the word that he has used, but again, is not the kind of word that we want to use on the platform, intoxicated with Nigerian power. This is the reason him and his likes can never support Biafra. He will meet his match in us.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting development from there, because here in London, as Yomi said, an MP, let me bring that to you, MP Mike Emsbury has been suspended from the Labour Party after CCTV footage emerged appearing to show him punching a man to the ground. Now, he's saying that his life was at risk, and then he under threat, and that's why he needed to do that. Okay, immediately, before even investigation starts, he's been suspended. But what would the House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House of Representatives do, or his party? Are we going to see anything? As this man is saying, look, I can make you disappear, and nobody, and that's how power drunk these individuals are. What do you think about that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, exactly at 1:15 11:15, and it is the morning show. Mr. Olayomi Koiki in the north, I'm here in the south, and we are bringing you everything that you need to know. The Nigerian Labour Congress has sorry, there was a doorbell. I was just checking that. The Nigerian Labour Congress has criticized the International Monetary Fund for the denial of responsibility regarding the Nigerian government recent removal of subsidy on petrol. Now, Yomi, I remember that back in the day we had the the IMF saying that if the subsidy is not taken away, government subsidy, meaning the amount of money the government is spending to subsidize fuel, is not taken away, Nigeria's economy is going to suffer, and the inflation and everything. So it was based on their recommendation that the government took that step, unless of course it wasn't. But it looks like IMF is denying that. Can you tell us more about that? And what is the reaction of the labor union?
Well, when it comes to IMF and the rest of Africa, we know the kind of pressure that IMF puts on the government of African countries, and Nigeria is also included. But this morning, like you said, the headline is coming from the Nigerian Labour Congress that is now slamming the International Monetary Fund for the fuel subsidy. When Tinubu came to power a year ago, the president made it known that the subsidy can no longer continue. But the question many Nigerians are asking is, where is the money that has been saved from the subsidy? Because that money itself, is not reflecting in the lives of millions of Nigerians. Remember that 2 weeks ago, we talked about 129 million Nigerians that have now entered the stage of poverty. Mm-hmm. So what the Nigerian Labour Congress is saying is that the International Monetary Fund, for its denial of the responsibility regarding the Nigerian government recent removal of this fuel subsidy. Many Nigerians have enjoyed this subsidy, but the government says we can no longer, have the subsidy because the subsidy is taking the bulk of the money from the government coffer, and only few are enjoying it, not even the majority of the Nigerians. So in the statement last night by the NLC President Joe Ajaero, criticized the IMF for presenting its harmful recommendation as the growth strategy, which have led to the increased social, economic hardship and stagnation in Nigeria and other nations that have followed a misguide. During the press conference at the IMF, the World Bank annual meeting in Washington, D.C., Abebe Salisi, the IMF African Regional Director, characterized the Nigerian government decision to remove the fuel subsidy as a domestic issue that they are not interfering as well. But the IMF recent statement shows a vision claiming Nigerian subsidy removal was a domestic decision while ignoring its significant influence. The question is, was it the right thing to do to remove the subsidy without any plan for many Nigerians that rely on these, or what can the government do with the money acquired from the subsidy that have been saved for a very long time?
Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time to 90 minutes past the top of the hour. The thing is, when government decided, Tinubu came in and on his inauguration decided to take the subsidy away, that impacted the economy of the country, which was down already, and made it worse. But I know that when he was coming, he was giving the hint that he was going to do that. But as whether the IMF now denying that they didn't do that, but that, it was the local economy itself, the federal government who thought of it to do that. And again, we know information has come in to say that government is still subsidizing fuel. But actually, they've not taken everything out. Do you have any figures pertaining to that, and how is actually going on there?
Well, you're right. Many analysts believe that the subsidy is still being paid. The government have not denied that, but they've not come out with any figure. One of the most dark part of Nigeria is the NNPCL. It seems that, is a kind of a darkness that everything is shielded. You are not given information. And when those information comes out, it looks like, the numbers doesn't tally. So what we can say is that as much as, President Bola Tinubu says that the subsidy has been removed, many of us believe that there is still subsidy being paid to many of their cronies. that are still making it very difficult that even many Nigerians cannot access, the PMS this morning, because you're looking at about 1,200 naira per liter. Wow. And the average cost of moving from one end from Dokpemu to Oshodi is about 1,000 naira. Which would have been about less than 500 naira in the past.
Wow. If you are listening to us, you can share your take with us. We promise you that we're going to read that. But let's go on straight, because we know that Yomi is pressed with time already. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has assured its commitment to diligently monitoring and tracking expenditure of the 774 local government chairmen. Okay, now we see that because we know the federal government gives these monies out to the various local government to run affairs. Now, there have been issues where some of these monies have vanished. We don't know what they use it for. We know the Auditor General and the Accountant General, and they all come and paint these things. But what is difference? What is different there? Are we going to see anything there? They've been there. EFCC have been there all this while. And we have people, let me put it this way, chopping the money like no man's business. What is that story about?
You're quite right. We have 774 local government across the country. And I can tell you, most of them as useless. They are not, making any impact to the lives of the many Nigerians. And they are not putting the effort because, the money itself doesn't come straight to the local government chairman. It goes to the governors, and the governors refuse to disburse the money. And that is why the High Court, some few months, gave the order that the autonomy of the local government should be allowed. But it seems that as of today, none of the state governors is giving room to that. So that means that whatever the allocation is coming from the federal government on a monthly basis, the local government funding is still being withheld by many of the governors. But what the EFCC is now saying that we will track the fund of the local government autonomy beginning from November. I'm not sure why this has been left for too long, because if you're going to look at the location where we are parked right now, the whole area in the northwest part is well taken care of by the London Borough of wherever, it could be. And that means that whatever funding is coming in there, will be used to look after the elderly, the children, the schools, and many other activities. I've seen the truck drivers moving out this morning, picking up the beans. Remember that the winter is dropping very fast, and that means we have more, leaves on the floor that also needs to be moved because of the safety of the public. So going back to Nigeria, last minute resistance from the state governors to direct payment of the statutory allocations of the local government areas will kick in November. We will monitor to see whether the state governors would allow the autonomy of the local government to function without any kind of interference, because that has been the interest between the local government and the citizen itself. But according to the national president of the National Union of the Local Government Employees, Akim Ambali, disclosed the latest information after an interview yesterday. The EFCC, the Economic Financial Crimes, have now assured of its commitment to diligently monitoring the tracking and the expenditure of the 774 local government from the federal government every month. The latest development mark is a significant turning point in the implementation of the local government autonomy that I said earlier, that was mandated by the Supreme Court ahead of the 31st deadline. So that means that within the next couple of days, the deadline for local government to be fully autonomous should take place. And that means the EFCC now wants to monitor the funding, because we do not want any local government chairman to come to UK and use the funding for the local government to buy a 2-bedroom somewhere in part of England, Wales, Scotland, or outside the United Kingdom.
Well, will they? Can they? Let's see what is going to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, I'm going to hand over to him for him to bring you all the rest of the other stories going on and what is happening on the social media as well. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, it seems that the federal government is telling us this morning that the foreign reserve has now risen to about 39 billion US dollars, according to Kadoso Olayomi. He said that the reserve have grown significantly with the remittance flow, which currently represent 9.4% of the total external reserve. What that means is that myself and many other Nigerians, around the world, continue to send in that remittance, say, back home to support their loved ones in education, in healthcare, in food. which is the most important, part of the country this morning. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayomi said that the country foreign reserve rose by 12.7% to 39.12 billion as at October this month. Cardoso stated this while appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on the Banking Regulation. The apex banks noted that the nation's foreign reserve stood at $34 billion at the end of June. The reserve rose from 39.12 billion as at October 2024 from 34 billion to the end of June 2024. Cardoso maintained that the reserve have grown significantly with the remittance flow, which is currently representing 9.4. So let's say kudos to many diaspora that are sending money home, after receiving their pay packet, even though some of us have to squeeze the money to make sure that our loved ones, are not in a very difficult time, especially with the inflation that is high. Many Nigerians are struggling, to have the 3 square meal. I'm going to take one more and move straight to the social media because of the time constraint. Sano Nasu, we began indefinite nationwide strike over withheld of salaries. I wonder how the government, especially in this difficult time, expect many workers, to be out there to go to work when you're not paying them the salary as well. They have accused the federal government of the unfair treatment by failing to pay them their 4-month withheld salary like their academic counterpart. Imagine those in the UK not being paid for a month. I'm sure they will also be out there on the street. So the members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University, the Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and Association Institution have now commenced indefinite nation strike within the campus of the public universities to demand the immediate release of their month withheld salary. So that takes us to what is going on the social media. And as we know this morning, is all about the Federal House of Rep members that assaulted the boat driver. I mean, imagine I have to send, a driver to my house on Uber and expect the driver to bring the food up all the way to the, to the apartment. Even most of the, the pizza order you order, most of them doesn't come upstairs anymore. You'll have to go downstairs and pick it up. Some of what is trending this morning is the Minister of State of Defense, Bayo Ononuga, is trending. But, Boko Haram is trending. And let's talk about the Boko Haram, because Boko Haram is still one of the most deadliest terrorist organizations in the world. And they're still operating in every part of the country this morning. So what we can tell you is that the reaction keeps coming through. But one thing we can say is that, many Nigerians are concerned with the state of things in Nigeria. And it looks like nothing is changing so far. It's getting worse on a daily basis. So these are some of the reaction from Nigerians this morning. This is very disappointing coming from a lawmaker. But again, it also shows that a lot of our elected political office holders should have no business in governance. According to the next one, says there shall be filtered by Nigerians. Again, one is coming, says, now fear app koi. Now only drivers, they shall be bullied. He should have slapped the Uber driver abroad and tell him nothing would happen, which is exactly what I said. Imagine if you have to slap a boat driver or a Uber driver, you will then find yourself in a very serious situation. Let's talk about some of what is trending as well this morning from the other part on the social media. According to Akede Odua, any Obas that will attend the meeting, we see the consequences of it. With a flyer that is out, we move, we cancel. The meeting scheduled for November 7, 2024 at the Lagos State by some Obas. The agenda of the meeting is to work against the Yoruba land and the actualization of the Yoruba nation. They are on agenda to re-amalgamate Yoruba land through the British colony master again. We say no to any form of amalgamation in Yoruba land again. Enemies within and without, be careful. The 1914 amalgamation has expired in 2014. Yoruba nation, no going back, no going back. And this is coming from Yonkan, peace for Yoruba nation. Again, I'm going to take one more, then come back again to you. Mr. Bayo Ononuga is one of the spokesman of the president this morning, and there's a lot of different, discussion on what he says, especially if you're speaking on behalf of the government. So I'm trying to say while he's trending this morning, but as usual, I can't pick anything. But let's now type in Nigeria and see what reaction is still coming from Nigeria on the social media space before I return back again to you in the studio. We've picked that. Dele Farotimi. I am directed to my principal caregiver and I got to thank each and every one of your outpouring love. I think that was a birthday celebration. Again, Peter Obi. Yesterday, my gratitude tour to Nigerians in the diaspora continued yesterday. He's currently in Los Angeles, California, as I met with Nigerian diaspora community and shared a consistent message to positive desire, admonish them not to give up hope in Nigeria. Well, not sure whether many Nigerians are giving up hope or not, but time will tell. Our favorite online doctor, I will make you disappear in this Nigeria and nothing would happen. Again, that is copied to the police, and we see kindly lend your voice on this criminal is properly investigated. One more we take, then I'll come back again to you. And this is coming from Dambelo. Dambelo is one man that is a teacher, a journalist, a filmmaker, an entrepreneur. But most of his videos has made it known that to give a balance of some of the things that we are talking about. Let's hear a little bit of this, and I hope it's not in Hausa language.
Suke cikin bakar wahala duk sun fara juyowa kanmu kuma kaga irin wannan albashi da muka yanka wa kanmu mai yawa da irin da muke ji gashi ba mai komai a majalisa ba za su fara juyo kanmu fa me kamata mu yi ai mu kawo abun addini wanda zai raba kansu jira. That means that even though is in Hausa language, but the headline says the Islamic law strategy in Nigeria. And like I said, many Nigerians are asking the question, for how long can we keep this together, especially when the politicians continue to oppress and use the word, I can make you disappear. That is how far I can go this morning. It's you, Mr. Archie. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio.
Well, listen, it's quite an interesting development there. Jira. They said it's a country. They said we are all together. They said there is the freedom to live wherever you like in the country. But you go to some place, they tell you, these are the rules, you have to abide by it. So what do you do in that circumstance? But Yomi, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful time. We know that you are pressed with time and you have to make your move now. Hope that we catch up later then.
Thank you so much. And tomorrow again, if time permits, we'll be back again with the update from Nigeria. But for now, stay tuned with Archie for the rest of the program, and remember to subscribe and follow the Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now, sir.
Bye for now.
Well, listen, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. We're going to take a short commercial break, and then I'll bring you a musical break, and we continue with the show. So wherever you are, don't you go away. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to bring you some music, but not now. Let's go, because it's now 11:38. You know, I was going to say 10:38, 11:38, because the clocks have gone back. Okay, GMT. Yes. So let's move on. We'll bring you the music at the tail end of the program. So whilst we are in Africa, let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds on the African continent. And notably, we did talk about the IMF recommendations to the Nigerian government, that they are saying that we didn't push that agenda. It was the government who embarked on its local means of maybe supporting or cutting its expenditure, and by so doing, cut the fuel subsidy. But a $1.8 billion IMF aid program secured in 2023 is currently frozen. A restructuring of the agreement is now required. According to Finance Minister Sheikh Diba, the government is aiming for a new agreement by the first quarter of 2025 at the latest. But moving on. The Minister of Finance, Sheikh Diba, has announced that during the annual IMF meetings in Washington, the Senegal's program with the international institution needs to be revised following an audit that revealed high debt and budget deficit than previously reported. Mr. Diba, quoted by Bloomberg, stated that the current program needs to be updated. We are in discussions with the fund. The government is now aiming for a new agreement with the IMF by the first quarter of 2025 at the latest. The government is now aiming for a new agreement with the IMF by the first quarter in 2025. The 1.8 billion program secured from the IMF in 2023 is now on hold, and scheduled payment of 338 billion CFA francs this year has been postponed to 2025. Minister Diba acknowledged, "We are aware of the consequences, but when we realized there were fundamental discrepancies between the figures reported to the fund, which formed the basis of our relationship, we understood we had to report them. The budget deficit is actually over 10% of GDP, nearly double the initial reported 5.5%. Now, this revelation had immediate repercussions. Modi downgraded the country's credit ratings for further into the speculative category, with a potential additional downgrade on the horizon. Now, Senegalese Eurobonds experienced a brief period of massive selling. The audit commissioned by the new President Bassirou Diomaye Faye revealed alarming figures regarding the last 5 years of Macky Sall's presidency. The debt to GDP ratio at the end of 2023 exceeded 80%. Compared to the previously announced 73%, according to the audit's findings confirmed by an independent IMF review. According to the minister, funds already disbursed will not need to be repaid. Now, this would have been the case if we had tried to conceal the fact we were caught. In this instance, Senegal conducted an audit and returned to the IMF with the correct figures. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Moving on to one other story whilst we are pressed with time, so that we'll see whether we can bring you a Career 101 or we have to go on. Now, Kenya's Deputy President Gachagua appeals to stop High Court impeachment proceedings. Now, Kenya's impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua filed a petition with the Court of Appeal on Monday, October 8, to halt outgoing impeachment proceedings. Gachagua's legal team, led by lawyer John Njomo, contended the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Milu overstepped her authority by appointing the 3 judges, Justice Eric Ogola, Anthony Mirema, and Frida Mugambi, without the approval of Chief Justice Martha Koome. Now, according to Njomo, only the Chief Justice has the constitutional authority to assign judges as outlined in the Articles 25, 27, 47, 48, 50, subsection 1 and 260 of Kenyan Constitution. Gachagua's petition claims the bench appointed violated Article 165, subsection 4 of the Constitution and was an error in interpreting the law. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So can he save his position at all with all these wranglings going on? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The attacks in the north and east of Gizera state have been called a massacre by the Gizera Conference, a local civil society organization. It said fighters belonging to the Rapid Support Forces stormed the town in Al-Kamelin locality on Friday morning and began firing indiscriminately from high-rise buildings. At least 50 people were killed and hundreds more injured. In the city of Tambul in Gizera North, RSF fighters went on a rampage, killing dozens of civilians and displacing thousands of others. Now, local groups say the attacks appear to be motivated by the rage after top RSF commander defected to the army side. Abu Akla Kelkel, the de facto ruler of Gizera province, surrendered to the Sudanese military in early October. Kelkel hails from Gezira State. The doctors' union in Sudan has said the RSF attacked 10 areas in eastern Gezira into a brutal war zone. It accused the fighters of committing sexual crimes, attack on health facilities, and forced displacement. A senior United Nations official on Friday called for more international attention to the forgotten crisis in Sudan, where more than a year and a half of war pushed the African country to the brink of famine. Now, what do you think about all that is happening there? This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK at a 12:45, and let me announce that the lines are open. Still on the African continent. Now, Mozambique remains tense after contentious election support of opposition candidate Venancio Madeleine have been staging rallies denouncing the results of the presidential election, which gave victory to the ruling party Daniel Chapo. Now, demonstrations began immediately after the National Election Commission declared Chapo winner of the vote. Madeleine came second with slightly over 20%. So it's not even, let's say, 40 something, then you say, oh yeah, somehow, but quite a margin. Now, the protesters blocked roads and burnt tires. Police responded by firing tear gas. Now, Madeleine, who is backed by the Podemos party, claimed he won the vote and has accused elections authorities and the ruling Frelimo party of fraud and manipulation. Even before the election commission announcement, the Southern African country has already tensed following the killing of 2 opposition figures close to Madeleine. Dozens have been injured and hundreds of protesters detained by the police. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But looking at some of the landscape in Mozambique, it looks nice. I've not been there. I think I need to visit that country and see how it all looks like. It looks like, so far as there's proper law and order, why not? Honestly, why don't you want to go to a place where there isn't law and order? You can flex your muscle. No. Okay. One more from there, then we go to Ghana as well, and then move on from there to other parts of the world. Now, victims of Uganda's notorious Lord Resistance Army said on Friday that they are disappointed in the sentence handed by judges to a former commander. Thomas Koiki was given 40 years in prison for war crimes including murder, rape, enslavement, pillaging, torture, and kidnapping. He will, however, have to spend only 25 years more behind bars, as he has already been in custody for 15 years. Now, victim Grace Appeal said the sentence seemed very lenient for those who suffered terrible atrocities at the hands of the LRA rebels. Now, we feel very bad. Our properties that were destroyed, the children we produced in captivity were really suffering, she said. Appeal added that the court ruling will send the wrong message to others who want to start war in Uganda. Now, you cannot commit these atrocities. Thank you, sir. Now, you cannot commit these atrocities and end up with light sentence, and then you come back to society and start your life again, she said. Now, Koiki was spared a death sentence because he was abducted by the rebel group as a child and has expressed remorse. Okay, let's see what has come out of that. But this is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go to Ghana. Now, Bawumia Napo are to face shocking verdict for plunging Ghana into chaos, suffering, etc. Amanda Archie is saying. Who is Amanda Archie and what power has she got to be saying so? But interestingly, Becca Vamo is saying Alan Chairman asked him to be his running mate. Did he agree to that or what? But now I know that Alan Chairman has got his own running mate. I've never voted for MPP or NDC. That's what he said there. And so let's bring you this one quickly. The Deputy Director of Logistics and Protocol for the opposition National Democratic Congress, Amanda Archie, has stated the governing MPP will suffer a shock at the December 7 polls, just as its running mate Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh did at the Pantang Midwifery and Nursing Training College. The Vice Presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, is seen in a viral video visibly shocked at the reception from the students who were dissatisfied with the government handling of their allowances. Now, the Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Olayomi, earlier this year was confronted by students' nurse at a campus engagement over the same matter of failure by the government to pay the allowances spanning over 3 years. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia is answering the questions from the student nurses, said he was unaware of the development. Now, he subsequently ordered the finance ministry to release some monies for the payment of the allowance to each student. However, many students are yet to receive their arrears. Campaigning at Pantang Nursing and Midwifery Training School in Accra, the MPP running mate said it was better for the government to owe allowances than it be cancelled. But the nurses in the video captured and shared widely on social media are seen and heard expressing their disgust at the failure of the government to fulfill its promise of paying the allowances, despite a much touted campaign that it remains committed to paying the allowances. The students, in a sharp response to the position expressed by the MPP running mate, shouted, "We want alawa, we want alawa," to the shock of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. So are that shock going to relate to voting? Is that what we're going to be seeing there? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right. So 8 minutes to the top of the hour, and let's look at some of the stories. Now, under the steady and distinguished leadership of Right Honorable Alban Sumani Kingsford Dagbin, Ghana's Parliament will, for the first time, hold the second General Assembly of the Conference of Speakers and Presidents of African Legislature, COSPA. This event is not just another international gathering, but a testament to Speaker Dagbin's deeply held democratic value and his enduring commitment to fostering strong parliamentary institutions across the African continent. With over 3 decades of experience in Parliament, Speaker Dagbin has become a respected voice in championing democratic values and good governance. But in Ghana, both in Ghana and across the continent, his leadership role as president of COSPA is a testament to the long-standing dedication to using parliament as engines for development and accountability. Hosting this assembly is a proud moment for Ghana, positioning the country as a key player in promoting unity and tackling Africa's most pressing issue through cooperative governance. But do you think that goes far enough for Ghanaians to see and uphold things? Well. Former Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Swami constituency, Osei Mensah Bonsu, has voiced his disappointment with the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Dagbin, accusing him of fostering a crisis within the legislative body. Now, Mr. Mensah Bonsu criticized the Speaker's handling of parliamentary proceedings, particularly regarding a recent statement about the fate of 4 MPs whose seats are in question. Now, he believes that members should have been allowed to comment on the Speaker's declaration that the seats were vacant, but expressed worry that Dagbin denied them that opportunity. Now, when the Speaker was conducting the matter, he said that he would deliver his ruling. At the time, I was abroad, but I followed the proceedings. It was an information speaker. If it was an information speaker, okay, let me take it again. If it was an information speaker was given to the House, then it was wrong. Any information presented in the form of a statement to the House should be allowed to be commented by members of Parliament, but Speaker didn't allow them to comment on his statement. Is it fair? He asked. And in an interview, Chairman Sabonsu emphasized that these ongoing controversies are regrettable and questioned whether they stem from international actions or oversight of the Speaker's part. He said, "Who is trying to create controversy in Parliament? I feel sad that, despite the Speaker's long experience in Parliament, these issues keep happening and always lead to crisis." He added, "I think it's most unfortunate whether he's doing this intentionally or not, but I am not in a position to judge, as humans can make mistakes. In a one-on-one conversation with the Speaker, we can discuss these matters." Chairman Sabonsu recounted an incident where the Speaker expressed concerns about the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osei Wusu, undermining his authority. Remember, when Speaker arrived from Dubai to discuss the Deputy Speaker's matter, he stated that he feels Osei Wusu is undermining his authority. It sounded like a sermon as he read from his note. The former majority leader lamented that no opportunity for comment was provided, leading to a Supreme Court ruling against the Speaker's position. "I told him we would comment on it, but he said we didn't have time, so we should reschedule for another day to comment. To date, he hasn't allowed us to comment," he narrated. So, what do you think has happened there? Or what do you think is going to come out of that? This is all coming away from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's see whether we can touch on a couple of stories from Ghana, and then we move on from there. Sheikh Osman Nuhu Sharabutu, Ghana's national chief imam, has asked members of the parliament to demonstrate goodwill in resolving the ongoing stalemate that has suspended legislative sessions indefinitely. He noted that the situation had heightened political tensions among Ghanaians, particularly with the general election less than 2 months away. "We appeal to the honorable members of the parliament to allow cooler heads to prevail in the interest of Mother Ghana and the Ghanaian electorate," he said. Now, during opening of the 4th edition of the annual National Muslim Conference of Ghana in Accra. Now, the conference was on the theme towards bridging the gaps in national healthcare delivery in Ghana, the role of the National Muslim Conference of Ghana. Now, Sheikh Sharabutu urged the government to consider Muslims as partners in healthcare delivery, citing their long-standing contributions to herbal, homeopathic, orthodox, and spiritual healings. He said it was heartwarming for Muslims, regardless of sectarian differences, to gather around a table to address matters that affected them. The national chief imam said that the conference had become an essential resource in strengthening diplomatic ties with Muslim nations around the world and bolstering government attempts to attract investment for the country's progressive growth. We as Muslims of Ghana envisage a golden future where interfaith dialogue will be deepened in our beloved country, enabling peaceful coexistence, he said. Sheikh Sharabutu urged Muslims to consistently pay their zakat to help empower their community. He also called on Muslims to avoid harsh language and reject violence to ensure peaceful election. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who donated a vehicle and 100,000 Ghana cedis to the NMCG, announced his intention to recognize faith-based groups as development partners of the government. He said initiative will incentivize those groups and expand their role in supporting government development efforts across the various sectors. Now, this policy seeks to grant tax exemptions on certain imported materials for developmental purposes, especially in health and education. Dr. Bawumia also revealed that 40 students from Zonga communities who received scholarship to study medicine in Cuba will return next year, enhancing healthcare access in those areas. He praised the NMCG for fostering dialogue and initiating projects like the Ghana Muslim Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as developing an action plan to leverage government policies on technical, vocational and educational training. There, in the quote, he said, "I am informed that the NMCG undertook a nationwide TVET research survey to establish the most appropriate and accessible TVET activity to the Muslim community within Ghana," he said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The former president and flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, has come out to say the peace and tranquility of our country mean more to me than anything else. So, they're in the form or actually saying that, look, I'll do everything to forestall peace. Will he? And if he does so, will the people around him do so? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. The finance minister has criticized Senator Asogli Power for what he described as a bad faith in the company's decision to halt operation over $259 million debt owed by the Electricity Company of Ghana. Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam explained that government was in the process of negotiating an agreement to clear the debt when Sanon Asogli changed its stance on the payment terms, complicating the process. We were working on an agreement to address the debt, but Sanon Asogli later revised their demands on payment terms, making it difficult for us to proceed. The finance minister has said that. Now, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam shared that during an initial payment around to independent power producers, the Ministry of Finance allocated $30 million to Sanon Asogli. Later, the company requested an additional $30 million, but the ministry did not agree to this request at the time. Now, during further negotiation, ECG proposed adding that the additional $30 million as part of the settlement, but Sanon Asogli refused to sign the agreement until payment was made. They insisted we pay first before they will sign, Dr. Amin explained. Later, they demanded $60 million, threatening to shut down if this amount wasn't paid. Now, the finance minister described the move as unfair and urged caution, stating we shouldn't feel pressured just because it is an election year. Now, people sometimes act as if Ghana doesn't know its right, especially as we approach elections. Now, so what is the credit arrangement between the government and Asogli, Sanon Asogli power supplier? Or yes, what is the arrangement there? So, are we in breach of the law or that agreement? What has happened there? Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes past the top of the hour. And let's take a break. We come back and then we'll be bringing you every other thing making the rounds in other parts of the world. How many days more for the elections in the US? And what do you think is going to happen there? Okay, so stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 5 minutes past the top of the hour. And let me borrow a word from Felix, and he says we are so prodding on. We are prodding on. Okay. Now, in other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, it's just one that I'll just tag the headlines. Kenoferiata Trends were allegedly offering 1,000 Ghana cedis per post to influencers to promote him online. So, well, who is doing that? Have you engaged in that, and have you made your money from that as well? Lots more going to be coming your way. Okay, one more. My producer wants us to touch on that. Cynthia Mamle Morrison, the Member of Parliament for Agona West, one of the 4 seats recently declared vacant by the Speaker of Parliament, Agbang Bagman, has reacted to reports of an assassination attempt against her. Now, speaking in an interview on the Ghana Web Monday, Morrison, a former Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, confirmed that there was a shooting incident at a campaign event in her constituency on Sunday, October 27, 2024. Now, she could not, however, confirm that the shooting incident, which created a chaotic scene in the vicinity of the campaign event, was an attempt on her life or not. The former minister stated that at least 4 of her supporters, including a woman, were hit by the bullets from the gunfire, sustaining various degrees of injuries. The former minister, who entered parliament on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party, has also stated that the attack will not dent her resolve to retain the Agona West seat as an independent candidate. Now, she said the incident has been reported to the Ghana Police Service, who have already commenced an investigation into it. Now, we have reported to the Regional Police Command, and they are investigating. We went to the site yesterday, so we are currently investigating, she said in an interview. The embattled legislator admonished her supporters to stay calm and not engage in any reprisal attacks as the police investigates the incident. My supporters should be calm. This is an election. It is not a do and die affair. We should focus on what we are doing, and I know that the good Lord will be with us, she added. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on to other parts of the world, we'll be coming to the UK pretty soon, but wherever you are, don't tag the dial. Now, Georgia's Prime Minister has rejected vote rigging claims in an interview after the referendum. Let me put it that way. Now, Georgia's Prime Minister has hailed the landslide election result, rejecting allegation of vote rigging and violence. Irregularities happened everywhere, in every country, Irakli Kobakiz of the Georgian Dream Party said. Now, official preliminary results from Georgia Election Commission gave the ruling Georgian Dream an outright majority of 54%, despite exit polls for opposition TV channels suggesting 4 opposition parties had won. Now, Georgia's pro-Western President Salom Zorabichvili had condemned the total falsification of the vote and called for opposition supporters to rally outside parliament today. Now, election observers in these South Caucasus state bordering Russia have complained of an uneven playing field in the election, suggesting the scale of vote violation may have affected the result. Now, election observers in the South Caucasus state bordering Russia have the US and European Union have backed the monitors called for an independent investigation. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Georgia's leaders to respect the rule of law, repeal legislation that undermines fundamental freedoms, and address deficiencies in the electoral process together. However, the Prime Minister insisted that out of the 3,111 polling stations, there had been incidents in just a couple of precincts, but that in all the others, the environment was completely peaceful. The Georgian Dream, known as the GD, has become an increasingly authoritarian recently, passing Russian-style laws targeting media and non-government groups who receive foreign funds and the LGBTQ plus community. Now, the European Union has responded by freezing Georgia's bid to join the EU, accusing it of democratic backsliding. Tbilisi was awarded candidate status only last December, and an estimated 80% of Georgians want to be part of the 27-country union. Even before the results came out, the one EU leader, Hungary Viktor Orban, congratulated Georgian Dream on securing a fourth term and is due to travel to Georgia today. The ruling party says it is keen to kickstart talks on reviving its EU bid. But the side of Orban arriving in Tbilisi 2 days after a contested election is unlikely to go down well in Brussels. Orban is seen as Russia's closest ally in the EU, and the European Parliament has denounced his government as a hybrid regime of electoral autocracy. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has given a measured response to Israel's strikes on the country, saying the attack should not be exaggerated or downplayed. Now, while refraining from pledging immediate retaliation, President Masoud Pezeshkian said Iran will give an appropriate response to the attack, which killed at least 4 soldiers, adding that Tehran did not seek war. Now, Israel said it targeted military sites in several regions of Iran on Saturday in retaliation for Iranian attacks, including a barrage of almost 200 ballistic missiles fired towards Israel on the 1st of October. On Sunday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel has crippled Iranian air defenses and missile production systems. He said the strikes had severely damaged Iran's defense capabilities and its ability to produce missiles. Now, the attack was precise and powerful and achieved its goal, Netanyahu said at a ceremony commemorating the victims of last year's 7 October attacks by Hamas. This regime must understand a simple principle: whoever hurts us, we hurt him. Official Iranian sources have publicly played down the impact of the attack, saying most missiles were intercepted and those that weren't caused only limited damage to air defense systems. Well, which is true? We're telling the truth. It's going to be quite an interesting development from there, right? But we'll be telling you more about all that as the program goes on. Before we come to the state, let me bring you a couple from here. Japanese elections are normally steady and boring affairs, but this snap election was neither. The dramatic vote follows a political funding corruption scandal that was revealed last year, which implicated senior lawmakers and cabinet members from the ruling Liberal Democrats Party, tarnishing its image and angering the public. It was a perfect storm, a scandal that saw dozens of LDP lawmakers investigated over pocketing millions of dollars in proceeds from political fundraisers, while households struggled with inflation and high prices, stagnant wages, and sluggish economy. In the end, a furious and tired electorate sent a strong message in Sunday's vote, punishing the LDP at the ballot box, and it was stunning blow, a party which had ruled Japan almost continuously since 1955, lost its single-party majority in the powerful lower house. But there was no clear winner either. A fractured opposition failed to emerge as a viable alternative when the public was looking for one. Although severely bruised, the LDP still won more seats, 191, than the biggest opposition party, the Constitutional Democratic Party, the CDP, whose final tally stands at 148. Now, this election appears to be about voters who are fed up with the party and politicians they see as corrupt and dirty, but it's not one where they want to bring up about a new leader, said Jeffrey Hall, a lecturer at Kanda University of International Studies. And yet, the old leadership fate is unclear. The LDP governing coalition has fallen short of the halfway mark of 233 seats in the 465-member diet, after its ally Komietu lost several seats, including that of its chief. Now, even with Komietu's 24 seats, the leader, LDP, will be unable to master a majority. It is a severe judgment, said Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who was sworn in as Prime Minister only this month after winning a tight party leadership race. Now, voters had expressed their strong desire for the LDP to reflect and become a party that will act in line with people's will, he said on Sunday, as results emerged. So what is going to happen? Who is going to form the next government? Yes, who's going to have yes, because it's the majority. If you have the numbers that is required, if you have the 233 seats, then you form government. But the minority cannot do so, and their coalition partners can also give them that results, that support that they need to be able to form government. So are they going to go into some sort of coalition with the others? Okay, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African radio station in London. All right then. Now let's move on. Before we come to the UK, there has been a furious reaction from Republicans as well as Democrats after a comedian at a Donald Trump rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. The comedian Tony Hinchcliffe also said Latinos loved making babies. A Trump advisor distanced the Republicans from the joke, and Kamala Harris' campaign attacked the rally as dangerously divisive. Now, Trump told thousands of his supporters in New York, Madison Square Garden, he will deport millions of migrants and called Harris a very low IQ individual. The Ferrari car came on the same day that Harris won the backing of Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny, one of the world's top Latin celebrities. Now, polls indicate that the race for the White House is a toss-up. We're going to be checking the tracker there for you. At the moment, Harris is on 48% and Trump is on 47%. So virtually neck and neck. In the swing states, where is Wisconsin, where Kamala, the electoral votes is 10. Harris is on top. In Nevada, 6. Trump is on top. Pennsylvania, 19. Trump is on top. Michigan, 15. Harris is on top. North Carolina, 6. And we have Trump there. Georgia 16, we have Trump there, and Arizona 11, and we have Trump there. So it looks like, wow, Trump some way has an upper hand there. But what do you think about all that? What do you think is going to happen there? It's going to be quite an interesting race. Less than 10 days to go. Let me call it, next Tuesday, right? Okay, the 5th of November. I will see what happens. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But there's a backlash after comedian at Trump rally calls Puerto Rico island of garbage. Garbage. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. An 11-year-old girl played dead before escaping after 5 family members were killed at their Washington State home. Now, Grammy-winning rapper Lil Durk charged with orchestrating 2022 Los Angeles killing. What's next for the Mendes brothers? Those are some of the stories making the rounds in the U.S. A father was killed in a Missouri bar brawl. His twin daughters' podcast helped lead to an arrest 35 years later. How to help journalists in Gaza and around the world? He lost his son to fentanyl poisoning and developed a video game he hopes will save others. And razor blades and white powder attached to political science led to more charges for suspects in Arizona DNC after office shooting. Wow, those are some of the stories making the round in the U.S. at 12:21, and let's see if we are now coming to the UK from. A prolific Vietnamese people smuggler who entered the UK illegally this year in a small boat has said he forges visa documents for other Vietnamese who plan to make the same crossing. The man, who we call Tan, is now claiming the UK asylum and told us he has spent almost 20 years, his entire adult life, in the smuggling industry. He has been in prison, led a gang working on the north coast of France, and claims to have helped more than 1,000 people to risk their lives to cross the channel. The self-confessed criminal said at a secret place that to share detailed information about the mechanics of international smuggling industry. Nathan walks into the room cautiously, dark eyes moving fast as if searching for possible exit routes, a small, neat, quietly authoritative figure in a black polo neck. Now, after months of phone calls and one brief meeting, the interview takes place on a grey day in a small hotel room in a northern English town that we're choosing not to name here as well. He said, we decided there was a strong public interest in hearing about Tan's life in the smuggling trade, which could only be secured in return for agreeing to keep his identity confidential. He fears being recognized not only by the British authorities but by Vietnamese criminals in the UK. Vietnam emerged in the first months of this year, suddenly and unexpectedly, as the largest single source of migrants seeking to cross the channel to UK illegally in small boats. Now, many Vietnamese migrants have cited failing businesses and debt at home for this decision to seek work in the UK. Their first step, experts have suggested, it is often to access Europe by taking advantage of a legal work visa system in Hungary and other parts of the Eastern Europe. Now, this is where Tan's forgery operation comes in. He says he helps create the fake paperwork needed to get the legitimate work visas. I can't justify breaking the law, but it's a very lucrative business, Tan said, calmly insisting that he doesn't provide forgeries for people seeking UK visa. Why is he saying so? Because he knows that if he says Jack, he's going to be in the S-hole. But he says he's not going to be saying that. And our team will not also reveal his true identity. So I'll come away from Starr Radio UK. For those of us in London, the bus fares cap in England will be raised to £3 in the upcoming budget. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced it is an increase on the current limit of £2, which was introduced under the previous Conservative government to help with the cost of living. the existing cap was due to expire at the end of December. Sekia said, I do know how much this matters, particularly in rural communities where there is heavy reliance on buses. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that really mean? I don't know, and I will tell you more about all that. I'm going to bring you some music from Atakofi. He says, shit, thanks. Okay, the final story. Sekia Starr has given a speech to prepare the ground for Wednesday's budget, saying Britain must embrace the harsh light of physical reality. He warns the country is facing unprecedented circumstances, but his government is taking decisions that will prevent devastating austerity. He says he will stick to his promise not to increase taxes on working people. The government is expecting to announce tax hikes, including national insurance paid by employers. Now, Starr doesn't reveal specifics, but challenges critics to set out an alternative path. He also says a new £3 cap on the bus fares will be announced this week, replacing the previous E2 cap. The Conservatives have accused Sekia of running a government of broken promises. But somebody will say, well, they were saying, we were thinking everything was rosy, and it's like standing out away from a forest and you're thinking, oh, that is a big tree, everything is together. But when you get closer to it, you say, no, everybody's standing at this place. It's not, there are spaces there. So that seemed to be what has gone on there. And therefore he's saying, now, you know what? We have to tighten our belt. Yeah, so if they are saying that there are promises that are broken, now they found out that when they came in, they said there was a 20 billion black hole. Oh boy. So they need to seal that. So they are going to use that to be sealing it. Well, let's see how the markets react to that during the course of the week. But this is where I bring the program to a close for today, wherever you might be listening to us. I salute you all. I say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us today. It's been a pleasure. From behalf of Mr. Olayomi Koiki, my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, it is me, Archie, saying have a top of the day and stay blessed. Enjoy this tune from Atakofi, and it says Thanksgiving, and it's in Ghana that says Shida. Enjoy it. What that song gets, you don't hear from me. It's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. Bye bye for now.
Numwe fata mohe nuwa kanfo Yehowa nuwa uwe gbe gululero waketo mambife akele kumeto peji muni saka koto ni ajale na kanfole ma womi dabosi akodromo ko mombo na mo.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes way.
Thanks for listening.
Yes way. Ton fait. My way. No gojo. Yes way. Ton fait. Come away. Can one no fait gojo. Yes way. Ton fait. My way. One no gojo. One no fait gojo. One no fait One on febo gojo osasi dada jewa wanda bosida sida sabwe osasi dada one on febo gojo osasi dada jewa mokobeli tamo bokra sida sabwe osasi dada Kenya wala mi kometole mazio ida Kenya wala mi kometole mawono gojo Adana ni moe atobo wata bono atobo na Tenkodi ejene fejumo oye muano ao Wami dabo sida wami febokoto Osasi dada Moko benita mobue Bono Leno yowa Leno Esasi dada Sida sabue Osasi dada Afete Side mofia moneni nabida Afete keba Side mofia moneni nabida Keye wala mi kometole Mazi oyida Wala mliye Wala ife no fiano Keye wala mi kometole Wadale siye Wala mliye Wala ife no fiano Keye wala mi kometole Wadale siye Wami wabano, wami vebokojo. Odafe no fiano na moko kele yo eko. Moko benita molele no di ata. Aonyawo, ata na nyumoe. Wami jogbe yida, wami vebokojo. Sidae. Inka sida wale sida wonweno sida Inka sida wale sida wonweno wala mle wala ife no fiano wala miko metole wadale siye wala ife no fiano wala miko metole wadale siye yes way tofe nkema we nkewa wono wo fe bokoto yes way tofe ma we wono gojo yes way ma we wono wo fe bokoto yes way tofe Wawo no gojo Sida Inka sida Wale sida Wonwe no Sida Inka sida Wale sida Wonwe no
Thanks for listening.